Good evening, and welcome to the Human Error News Network. We're breaking through the static tonight with a story that's developing in every single workplace, probably including yours.
We have a special report for you, the blame trap. For years, we've been taught that when something breaks, the first thing you do is find out who broke it. But what if that's all wrong? What if our investigation has found that this one single idea is actually holding all of us back?
So let's just get right to the heart of the matter. You've probably heard this before. You can either blame a human or you can learn from a failure. But the obvious question is, why can't you do both? Well, the answer is actually incredibly simple. The moment we point the finger, our curiosity just shuts down. We find our scapegoat, we close the report, and we never get around to asking the much more important question: why was it so easy for this to happen in the first place? Now, if that sounds familiar, yeah, you are not alone. I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? Drowning in a sea of paperwork, endless checklists, safety systems that feel less like protection and more like, well, just bureaucracy. Turns out there's a really good reason why it feels that way. Here's the really frustrating part. As an industry, we've been throwing everything we have at this for half a century. And for 50 years, we've been trying to solve the completely wrong problem. We've been staring at the tip of the iceberg, the human error, the incident, while completely ignoring the massive system underneath that's actually driving the ship. And you see the symptoms everywhere, right? Something goes wrong, we add more paperwork. We see a mistake, we add more behavior tracking. We sense low morale, we send out another culture survey. We just keep adding more and more layers, hoping something will finally work, but it never really does. We're not fixing the problem, we're just chasing the symptoms. And all this time, we've completely missed the one variable that's been hiding in plain sight, quietly determining the outcome of almost everything we do, long before anyone ever makes a mistake. Our investigation has found that the real root cause isn't about bad people or broken rules. It's about understanding a system's true breaking point. And I gotta tell you, once you see this, you are never going to look at failure the same way again. So, what is it? It comes down to one word: capacity. The best way to think about it is like the RAM on your computer. It's the very real, very finite operating bandwidth your team has to get work done safely. And when the demands you place on them exceed that bandwidth, the system crashes. It's that simple. Capacity is the invisible container that holds everything. And this, right here, this changes everything. Human error is not a cause. It's a symptom. It's the flashing check engine light on your dashboard. It's the evidence telling you that the system was pushed past its limits a long, long time ago. The person who made the error, they just happened to be the one holding the bag when it all came apart. And this just proves a critical point. Look, you can have the most experienced, most competent person in the world on your team. You can have the best written procedure ever created. But when the system is overloaded, when capacity is completely gone, both of them are going to fail. Every single time. Your best people fail under compression, and your best procedures fail under overload. Which leads us to a really uncomfortable but crucial discovery. What if the very things we're doing to try and make our workplaces safer are actually making them more dangerous? The traditional logic has always been so simple. You want more safety, you add more controls. You add more forms, more approvals, more steps in the process. But what if that entire way of thinking is completely backward? Think about this vicious cycle. Step 1, an incident happens. Step 2, we react by adding a new procedure. But step 3 is the part we always miss. That new checklist, that new form, it consumes a little piece of a worker's finite capacity. It takes time, it takes focus. And so, step 4, with every new rule, the system doesn't get safer, it just gets more rigid, more brittle. And that's really the difference between a system that's truly protected and one that's just brittle. A protected system has slack, it has extra capacity, it's flexible so it can handle surprises. But a brittle system, it's overloaded with controls, it's rigid, and it has a super high risk of just shattering the moment something unexpected happens. We think we're adding layers of armor when all we're really doing is adding weight that makes the system crack. And this leads to one of the most chilling things we uncovered. In basically every industry, the thickest, most complicated procedure is almost always sitting right next to the scene of the most preventable incident. Why? Because that giant binder isn't a sign of safety. It's a sign that the system has already run out of room to think. Okay, so if the old way of doing things is broken, what do? It all starts by changing what we pay attention to. We have to stop looking in the rearview mirror and start looking out the front windshield. This is your new early warning system.
For way too long, our entire approach to safety has been about documenting the past. We count accidents, we track compliance paperwork. We are masters of analyzing failure after the damage is already done. What we desperately need is a way to see failure coming, before it actually happens. And that is the huge shift in thinking. Lagging indicators, things like accident counts, they only tell you what happened yesterday. The only true leading indicator, the only thing that can help you predict the future, is capacity margin. It actually measures the potential for failure right now, in real time, by showing you exactly how much buffer your team has left in the tank. So how do you see this on your own team, like today? You don't need a fancy dashboard for this. You just have to look for the signals. On a team with high capacity, the truth moves fast. People know what the real priorities are. They actually have time to think. But on a low-capacity team, communication is slow, meetings feel rushed, priorities are a mess, they're always conflicting, and decisions are being made way faster than anyone can actually process. These aren't just feelings. These are hard data points about the health of your system. And it really all comes back to this one central idea. Safety doesn't fail at the sharp end, at the moment someone touches the hazard. It fails way, way earlier than that. It fails the moment the system, the team, the individual, loses the space to think. The accident is just the last page of a story that started a long time ago with a slow, quiet erosion of capacity. So we'll leave you with a final thought tonight. What if your job isn't what you thought it was? Whether you're a leader, a team member, a safety pro, what if your primary job wasn't to enforce more rules, but to become a guardian of your team's capacity? If that were your job, what's the first thing you would do differently tomorrow morning?